Chapter 10. Chaotic Wind Force Style. As if four swords were attacking Li Fuchen at the same time, the bald brute used his finishing move. Chaotic Wind Sword Style. It's someone from the Yang clan. Li Fuchen recognized the bald brute's sword style with just one look. Using his right foot to create a small pit in the grass, Li Fuchen slid along the ground, once again avoiding the bald brute's attack. At the same time, while sliding, Li Fuchen slashed at the bald brute's calf, fresh blood splattered. At this moment, Li Fuchen combined the whirlwind kick with his sword style. With fresh blood flowing from his calf, the bald brute was infuriated. In the past, even a 7th-level Qi realm martial artist wouldn't be able to withstand more than a few slashes from him. He didn't expect to be injured by a 5th-level Qi realm brat. Chaotic Wind Chop. The bald brute roared and brandished his blade at Li Fuchen's position 7 to 8 times. Each slash would slice off a large patch of grass. In an instant, the grass flew like a storm, blinding the naked eye. Worthy of being an 8th-level Qi realm martial artist. Li Fuchen didn't dare to approach the bald brute, but purposely sprinted towards the skinny brute's corpse. Die! The bald brute chased after him, his sword dancing flawlessly. Go! Arriving in front of the skinny brute's corpse, Li Fuchen used his sword to fling the heavy corpse towards the bald brute. Ignoring his comrade, the bald brute slashed at the corpse. But at this moment, a cold glint shot towards him, forcing him to block it. Clang! The cold glint was a sword, the skinny brute's sword. Die! Unknowingly, Li Fuchen appeared in front of the bald brute's left. With a cool breeze, the bald brute wanted to say something, but nothing came out. Fresh blood spurted from his neck as he fell to the ground. Before he could take a breath, Li Fuchen crouched down and hid in the grass. Not far from him, a sharp arrow was quivering. On top of a tree in the forest, the archer couldn't believe his eyes. He thought Li Fuchen was long dead. Who would have thought that not only was Li Fuchen not dead, he even killed the bald brute and 6th brute. How is this kid so strong? Baldy is an 8th-level Qi realm warrior. Could he be a genius on the same level as Guanshui? Some of the geniuses could indeed fight beyond their realms, as their 5 senses were extremely sensitive, especially at the mortal realm. Because mortal realm warriors could not manifest their Jin Qi outside of their bodies, people with higher cultivation would still need to hit their opponents. As for geniuses, although their cultivation was low, as long as they were hit by a sword, even if the power of this sword was not great, with the strength of a human warrior's body, they would still not be able to withstand it. After all, there was still a difference between a warrior and a monstrous beast. Since Baldy and Old Six are dead, these materials are all mine. The archer, carrying a large sack on his back, jumped down from the tree and left the place. Do you think you can leave? Li Fuchen skimmed out from the bushes at the side. So fast. The archer hurriedly threw away the sack and bow on his back and rolled away to avoid Li Fuchen's sword art attack. Such fast reflexes. Surprise flashed in Li Fuchen's eyes. The archer's cultivation level was the same as the skinny man, 7th level of the Qi realm. But the archer's reflexes and agility far exceeded the bald man and skinny man. If it was the skinny man, he wouldn't have been able to dodge it. You think you have me in your bag? The archer's weapon of choice was 2 short swords, one held straight and the other in a reverse grip. His battle stance was extremely valiant, allowing him to deal with attacks from all directions without any blind spots. Interesting, cool breeze blowing. Li Fuchen's footwork and sword art were extremely graceful. Even though it was just a single slash, the archer felt as though Li Fuchen had slashed out 6 or 7 times, with a blurry attack trajectory. The archer was shocked, using both of his short swords to block Li Fuchen's sword art. Sparks rained down like rain. He roared in his heart. Others may not know, but he knew very clearly that Li Fuchen's sword art had already reached the completion stage, or else he wouldn't be able to change so much. Xiao Shang sword style. The two of them may seem to be 2 levels apart, but with the 5th rank Red Jade technique, Li Fuchen's Qi burst power was comparable to a 6th level Qi realm martial artist. Li Fuchen unleashed his full power and suppressed the archer. Ding. With his arm numb, the short sword in the archer's right hand flew out. In the next moment, His head was decapitated by Li Fuchen. With my current ability, I can easily suppress a 7th level Qi realm martial artist and contend with an 8th level Qi realm martial artist. But the prerequisite is that the opponent is a regular martial artist. After slaying the archer, Li Fuchen estimated his own ability level. What was an ordinary martial artist? In fact, it was a martial artist who did not cultivate any powerful secret arts. If the other party cultivated the Silver Snake secret art to the 5th or 6th layer, then they would not be an ordinary martial artist. Unfortunately, these 3 people were only the guards of the Yang family, so it was impossible for them to have cultivated the Silver Snake secret art. At most, they would have cultivated the inferior Iron Snake secret art, and their secret arts realm would not be too high. 2 steel short swords, they should be worth a dozen gold coins. Li Fuchen picked up the short sword of the archer. Generally speaking, Qi realm martial artists would use steel swords. But there were good and bad quality steel swords. A slightly inferior steel sword could be bought for a few gold coins. A high-quality steel sword could be sold for dozens or even hundreds of gold coins. The steel sword in Li Fuchen's hand was of the highest quality and was worth 150 gold coins. It was a gift from his father, Li Tianhan. Had it not been for Li Fuchen's low cultivation, a single slash would have broken the swords of the trio. There wouldn't even be a need to fight. Thinking about it, Li Fuchen still threw away the short sword. The Yang clan's weapon should have the Yang clan's mark hidden on it. If he sold it in Yunwu City, it would inevitably be leaked. It wasn't worth it for a few dozen gold coins. These demonic beast materials should be enough. The trio had a bountiful harvest. There were dozens of demonic beast pelts, some of which were obviously taken from Class 1 high-tier demonic beasts. A Class 1 high-tier demonic beast pelt was much more valuable than a Class 1 mid-tier beast pelt. A single pelt was worth at least 5 gold coins. Is this a demon core? Carrying the sack, Li Fuchen began to search the trio. From the archer, he found a large jade box with dozens of stalks of low-tier, yellow class herbs. The skinny man had 3 stalks of mid-tier, yellow class herbs. The bald man had a green crystal with traces of blood on it. A single stalk of low-tier, yellow class herbs was worth 1 to 3 gold coins. A dozen stalks would be worth around 20 gold coins. A single stalk of mid-tier, yellow class herbs would be worth 10 to 30 gold coins. 3 stalks would be worth a few dozen gold coins. But the demon core was worth a lot of money. Chapter 11. I wonder what grade of demon core it is? Demon cores are very expensive. A Class 1 low-tier demon core is worth as much as a high-grade energy crystal. A Class 1 low-tier demon core is worth 200 to 300 gold coins. A Class 1 mid-tier demon core is worth 400 to 500 gold coins, and a Class 1 high-tier demon core is worth 1,000 gold coins. As it was still early, Li Fuchen didn't linger and left Misty Mountains. Yunwu City. After a busy day, Li Fuchen had an extra 500+ gold coins in his wallet. 14 stalks of low-tier, yellow-class herbs and 3 stalks of mid-tier, yellow-class herbs were sold for a total of 75 gold coins. 15 pieces of demonic beast pelts were sold for a total of 40 gold coins. The most expensive one was the Jade Green Demon Core, which was actually a Class 1 mid-tier demon core. It was sold for 420 gold coins, adding up to a total of 535 gold coins. With 535 gold coins, Li Fuchen felt more confident. This was equivalent to 4 to 5 years of his allowance. Of course, once his cultivation level increases, his allowance will increase. As a disciple of the Qi realm and below the age of 18, the monthly allowance was 2 gold coins, 5 gold coins for the 4th Qi realm, 10 gold coins for the 5th Qi realm, and 20 gold coins for the 6th Qi realm. The increment was exponentially higher. Arriving at the treasure pavilion, Li Fuchen headed straight for the innermost booth. I want this blue crystal ring. Li Fuchen went straight to the point. Young Master Fuchen, you are here again. The shop assistant no longer dared to look down on Li Fuchen. Among the younger generation of Yunwu City, there weren't many who could defeat Yang Qi. Barring any accidents, Li Fuchen would definitely become a big shot in Yunwu City in the future. He would no longer be the trash with no future. Exiting the treasure pavilion, Li Fuchen frowned. Trouble really comes one after another. Blocking his way was a youth with broad shoulders and long legs. He had a high nose bridge and a pair of emotionless eyes, just like a hawk's, extremely sharp. Guan Peng, Guan Mei's brother. One of the two prodigies of the Guan clan, second only to Guan Shui. 15 years old and at the 6th level of the Qi realm. Most importantly, Guan Peng had a 2-star bone frame. What is a bone frame? It is actually a person's innate qualities. Those with a good bone frame would be able to cultivate faster and have good perception. For example, if two people have the same cultivation technique, but one has a normal bone frame and the other has a star bone frame, then the cultivation speed of the star bone frame would be much faster than the normal bone frame. What's more, under normal circumstances, a star bone frame's cultivation technique would definitely be higher than a normal bone frame's, because the bone frame determines one's perception. It was said that without any opportunities, only when one's bone frame reached 2-star could he break through to the origin realm. Which meant that if there were no accidents, Guan Peng's future achievements should be above the origin realm. One had to know that the number of martial artists above the origin realm in Yunwu City could be counted on one hand, and half of them were in the Castellan's residence. The reason why Guan Shui was able to become a Tsanglan sect disciple in advance wasn't because of her cultivation and technique rank, but because she had a 4-star bone frame. It has been a century since a 4-star bone frame appeared in Yunwu City. Even the city lord only had a 3-star bone frame. Not to mention Guan Shui's high cultivation level, even if they weren't, the Tsanglan sect would still allow Guan Shui to enter the Tsanglan sect in advance. Bone frame represents one's future achievements, and what's in front of you isn't important. 1 year ago, Li Fuchen was a prodigy of the Li clan, but his bone frame was only a normal bone frame, while Li Yunhai was a 2-star bone frame. Yang Qi of the Yang clan was a 1-star bone frame. Yang Kai was a 3-star bone frame. 1 year ago, Li Fuchen could be compared to Li Yunhai with a normal bone frame. To a certain extent, it was enough to prove his perception. Li Fuchen even suspected that it was because he overused his brain, causing his soul spirit to gradually dissipate, causing him to be unable to concentrate on cultivation. Bone frame is really something that makes people sad. It would be impossible to say that Li Fuchen didn't mind his normal bone frame at all. Bone frame determines a person's future. Those with a good bone frame, even if they don't have any opportunities, would still have a bright future. But for those with a poor bone frame, not only would they have to put in a lot of effort, they would also have to find opportunities to not be left behind. Slowly letting out a breath, Li Fuchen's eyes were once again glowing. So what if he had a poor bone frame? In terms of soul spirit talent, how many could match up to him? Under the nourishment of the golden amulet, his soul spirit had already turned from gray to pale green. There were even traces of green within the pale green. Soon enough, his soul spirit would turn green. The pale green soul spirit already bestowed him with a strong perception. A green soul spirit would probably allow his perception to reach an astonishing level. Without a bone frame, he could use his perception to make up for it. Of course, the prerequisite was to enter the Tsanglan sect. Only by entering the Tsanglan sect would he be able to obtain better techniques and martial arts. If not, when the red jade technique reaches the 7th rank, his perception would be useless. He couldn't possibly create his own technique, right? How long would that take? Li Fuchen, right? Come with me. Guan Peng spoke coldly. Why? Li Fuchen didn't bat an eyelid. Because you offended my sister. Guan Peng crossed his arms and looked down at Li Fuchen. Li Fuchen sneered, I think you should know what kind of person your sister is. I don't want to hear your reasons. Your reasons are just bullsh*t to me. No matter what you say, it won't be of any use. Those who offend my sister only have one ending, and that is to kneel and repent. I advise you to come with me, or else you will suffer some physical pain. I don't think you would want to embarrass yourself in front of so many people. Kiki, your Guan clan sure is shameless and overbearing. My Li clan doesn't expect your Guan clan to be grateful, but I didn't expect your Guan clan to be so arrogant instead of grateful. Li Fuchen had a mocking expression and stood there without moving an inch. Guan Peng's eyes flashed with a hint of anger. My Guan clan has been established in Yunwu City for a long time and no one has ever said such words to me. Very well, you have successfully angered me. I wonder if you have the ability to endure it. The Guan clan's younger generation hated it when others said that their Guan clan was only able to establish themselves in Yunwu City because of the Li clan. This was their reverse scale and not to be touched. Recently, the disciples of the four major clans have been getting angry. Last time it was Yang Qi, now it's Guan Peng. I wonder how Li Fuchen is going to handle this. Probably not. Guan Peng has a 2-star bone frame and his perception is much better than Yang Qi's. Not necessarily. Bone frame is important, but it doesn't decide everything. After all, this was the main street and there were plenty of spectators. Li Fuchen spread his hands. It's not that no one has said such things, but your Guan clan chose to deceive themselves. Shameless people will always be shameless. Li Fuchen hated the Guan clan more than the Yang clan. If the Yang clan was a tiger, then the Guan clan was a fox, cunning and shameless. Little b asterisk 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 d, you sure know how to talk. But look at the Li clan, they are on the decline while my Guan clan is on the rise. Who knows, maybe in a few years' time, there will be no more Li clan in Yunwu City. Now shut your mouth. Guan Peng didn't plan to give Li Fuchen any chance to speak. With a stomp of his feet, he brought along a fierce wind and appeared right in front of Li Fuchen. A palm strike was launched at Li Fuchen with a dense palm shadow. Chapter 12. Against Guan Peng's exquisite palm strike, Li Fuchen leapt into the air. Both his legs were like a torrential storm, pouring towards Guan Peng. Soft flowing palm against cyclone kick style. Crackle crackle. As the palms and legs met, a formless chi wave violently spread out, raising a cloud of dust. Guan Peng and Li Fuchen both retreated, neither of them gaining the upper hand. Water Moon Technique, 5th rank. Li Fuchen's eyes flashed with brilliance. His cyclone kick style was already at the completion stage, while his opponent's soft flowing palm was obviously not at completion stage. But his opponent's technique rank was the same as his, and his cultivation level was 1 level higher. 2-star bone frame is only SOSO. Li Fuchen gently landed on the ground. His movement was extremely elegant. He actually blocked it. Looking at the confident Li Fuchen, the crowd on the street were shocked. Even though they didn't think Li Fuchen would be defeated in one move, but when Li Fuchen actually did it, they were still shocked. To be able to block my soft flowing palm, not bad. But I wonder, how long can you last? Muddy flowing water. Guan Peng's face twitched, the 5th rank Water Moon Technique burst forth. Under the cover of his palm, the air became as viscous as water. Soft flowing palm, the Guan clan's mid-tier, yellow class palm art. It was said that the Guan clan's patriarch, Guan Yu, once used this palm to send 4 Origin Realm martial artists flying. Tornadoes scattered clouds. Li Fuchen's combat prowess was on full display for the past few days. Against Guan Peng's palm strike, Li Fuchen's body spun like a whirlwind and rushed towards Guan Peng, sending out a barrage of kicks. Not good. Guan Peng cried out. This move from his opponent seemed to counter the soft flowing palm's soft flowing palm's soft flowing palm's soft chi field was broken. Guan Peng felt his blood boiling and lost the initiative. Peng. Guan Peng retreated again and again, both his arms were numb. Not bothering about being criticized, Guan Peng quickly drew his steel sword and slashed at Li Fuchen. Swish. The corner of Li Fuchen's shirt was sliced off. Guan Peng wanted to take advantage of Li Fuchen's lack of a sword to injure him. Shameless. While in midair, Li Fuchen drew his steel sword at a speed that was hard to be seen by the naked eye. Using the Shao Shang sword style's mountain cleave, he cleaved at Guan Peng. Ding. Sparks flew everywhere. Guan Peng, who had raised his sword to block the attack, felt his knees buckle from the pressure. Clang 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 clang. Borrowing the force of the strike, Li Fuchen continued to soar into the air and slashed at Guan Peng's steel sword with 5 consecutive slashes. Spurting a mouthful of blood, Guan Peng was forced to kneel on the ground. His hair was disheveled and his face was pale. You want to stand up for your sister with just this bit of ability? You're just asking to be humiliated. Li Fuchen mercilessly attacked. Hearing this, Guan Peng's eyes widened, and he spat out another mouthful of blood. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. What was dominance? This was dominance. Who cares if you are a 2-star bone frame, you will still be forced to kneel and lose all your face. For a moment, the street was in absolute silence. Everyone's eyes landed on the calm Li Fuchen. When it is possible to let people off, one should forgive them. The people of the Li clan should learn to be magnanimous. Otherwise, they won't be able to go far. Not far away, a voice rang out. It's Shin Tu Liang. Everyone looked towards the source of the voice. When they saw who it was, none of them dared to even breathe. Be it the Li clan, Guan clan, or Yang clan, they all dared to talk about them. But there was one clan that they didn't dare to talk about, at least not in front of their faces. That was the Shin Tu clan. Because the Shin Tu clan was the city lord's clan. They controlled the fate of Yunwu City. As long as the Shin Tu clan existed, they would be the #1 clan in Yunwu City. The person who came was around 16 years of age, dressed in embroidered robes and had a noble aura. When looking at others, he liked to lift his head slightly, giving off an air of superiority. So it is young Master Shin Tu Liang, nice to meet you. Li Fuchen recognized the person. He was the son of the city lord's younger brother. 16 years of age, 6th level of the Qi realm, 1-star bone frame. Because he cultivated the Shin Tu clan's Xiao Yang Luo Qi, his ability was higher than Guan Peng's. Shin Tu Liang was rather satisfied with Li Fuchen's attitude. Li Fuchen, there is no need to embarrass others in a spar. After all, the Guan clan and your Li clan had a good relationship in the past. Why do you have to be so extreme? How about this? Apologize to Guan Peng. I don't think you will reject my good intentions. Hearing Shin Tu Liang's words, Li Fuchen's expression turned cold. It was said that the city lord had a good relationship with the Guan and Yang clans. It seems like it was true. Even Shin Tu Liang spoke up for the Guan clan. Apologies, I can't do that. Li Fuchen immediately rejected. But is Fuchen bro not giving me face? Shin Tu Liang squinted his eyes. It's not that I am not giving him face, but he isn't worth my apology. I still have matters to attend to. Farewell. Li Fuchen turned around and left. Shin Tu Liang wasn't happy. He thought he had already given Li Fuchen face, but Li Fuchen didn't even take him seriously. This made him uncomfortable and felt like his dignity was being challenged. Just as he was about to make a move, he heard Li Fuchen's words, "Young Master Shin Tu Liang, you aren't my match. Just now when I was dealing with Guan Peng, I only used 70% of my strength." Even though he was speaking, Li Fuchen didn't even turn his head. Hearing this, Shin Tu Liang's body froze and his expression turned ugly. He didn't know if what Li Fuchen said was true, but if it was, then he couldn't do anything to Li Fuchen. He didn't want to be humiliated along with Guan Peng, even though he didn't believe that Li Fuchen dared to humiliate him. What a Li clan, what a Li Fuchen. I will remember this. Shin Tu Liang's tone was cold. At this moment, Guan Peng, who still had traces of blood on the corner of his mouth, stood up. He stared at Li Fuchen's back with hatred and bowed to Shin Tu Liang. "Young Master Shin Tu Liang, many thanks for what you did just now. What's wrong with you? How come you couldn't even defeat him?" Shin Tu Liang asked. Guan Peng's face turned ashen. "I am not familiar with his moves and was careless this time." This person is not to be underestimated. The Li clan has been dispirited for so many years. It seems they are planning to return to the peak. Shin Tu Liang teased. Return to the peak? A normal bone frame person may be able to catch up to us in the early stages. But in the later stages, a normal bone frame will just be a normal bone frame. He will definitely fade into the crowd. Guan Peng looked down on Li Fuchen. He didn't know why Li Fuchen was so incredible, but in his eyes, Li Fuchen had no future. As for himself, he had hopes of breaking through to the Origin realm and the even stronger Earth realm. When that time comes, Li Fuchen would be a dog in his eyes, perhaps even worse than a dog. What you said makes sense. No matter what, after offending me, Shin Tu Liang, he no longer has a future. Shen Tuliang was a vengeful person. Now that Li Fuchen offended him, he wouldn't let him off so easily. As long as there was an opportunity, he would definitely put Li Fuchen to death. Chapter 13. A high-grade energy crystal was indeed a high-grade energy crystal. During normal cultivation, Li Fuchen could only rely on himself to absorb energy from the heaven and earth. But now that the blue crystal ring could help him gather energy, the efficiency was increased by quite a bit. Most importantly, the blue crystal ring could store energy. When his qi was depleted, he could absorb the energy within the ring to replenish his qi. This was equivalent to carrying a low-tier, yellow-class qi replenishing pill. Even though the effects wouldn't be as good as a qi replenishing pill, it could be reused. Li Fuchen reckoned that with this blue crystal ring, he would need at least a month less to advance to the 6th level of the qi realm. Exhaling a turbid breath, Li Fuchen retrieved the stone heart grass from the jade box. The stone heart grass didn't help with cultivation, but it could strengthen the bones of a martial artist. The bones were the foundation of a human. Bone frame was also related to the bones. Those with a good bone frame were born with tougher bones. With the same palm strike, those with a poor bone frame would have their bones fractured, while those with a good bone frame would be perfectly fine. Of course, those with a good bone frame, other than having a tougher bone frame, had other profoundness. It didn't mean that having a tough bone frame meant having a good bone frame. The two were not directly related, but indirectly related. No matter what, having a tough bone frame is always a good thing. Without any hesitation, Li Fuchen consumed the stone heart grass. The stone heart grass may seem tough, but it melted upon entering his mouth. With his soul spirit sensing, Li Fuchen could clearly feel the stone heart grass turning into a white qi flow that dispersed into his limbs and bones. Suddenly, a sore feeling came from within his bones, as though countless ants were gnawing on his bone marrow. Not knowing how much time had passed, Li Fuchen, who was drenched in sweat, slowly opened his eyes. This feeling. Li Fuchen raised his hand. His hand didn't look any different from before, but Li Fuchen knew that the bones inside were twice as hard and the surface of the bones were much finer too. A high-tier yellow-class bone-strengthening herb can double the hardness of my bones. If it's a mystic-class bone-strengthening herb, or even an earth-class bone-strengthening herb, the effect would probably be 10 times or even 100 times stronger. Furthermore, there are many types of herbs, and there are all kinds of herbs. Li Fuchen was amazed at the mystical properties of herbs. Herbs were the #1 resource. In the records, there was someone who obtained the legendary dragon blood herb. After consuming it, his body became even stronger than the demonic beasts. There was also someone who obtained the sun blossom, which transformed his bone frame into the sun bone frame. When cultivating the masculine yang cultivation technique, the result would be 10 times faster with half the effort. There was even someone who obtained the phoenix undying herb. From then on, they would possess an undying body and could even be reborn from the ashes. Medicinal herbs were born from the essence of heaven and earth and could fundamentally change a martial artist's physique. Of course, the more precious a herb was, the rarer it was. Yellow-grade herbs were still okay, but black-grade herbs had already begun to contain the mysteries of heaven and earth. That was why they were called black-grade herbs. As the days passed, Li Fuchen would basically visit the Misty Mountains every 2 or 3 days. Facing the pouncing steel claw wolf, Li Fuchen didn't move an inch. When the wolf was about to reach him, Li Fuchen drew his steel sword and pierced through the wolf's throat. As of today, Li Fuchen could already kill the steel claw wolf in a single strike. His combat ability was so strong that even he couldn't estimate it. Before he entered the Cloud Mountain range, his combat ability was 1. On the first day, his combat ability had increased to 2. A few days later, it had increased to 3. Now, his combat ability had basically reached 5. No matter what kind of intermediate rank 1 demonic beast it was, he could kill it instantly with 1 strike. There was no need for him to use a second strike. Not only that, even if it was a weaker class 1 high-tier demonic beast, he could still kill it in a few strikes. My combat ability against demonic beasts is already very strong. But demonic beasts aren't martial artists. In order to perfect my combat ability, I still need to spar with a martial artist. Li Fuchen had a big heart. If it was anyone else, they would be satisfied, but Li Fuchen wasn't satisfied at all. He wanted to become stronger, absolutely stronger. He didn't know if it was his own desire or the changes brought about by the golden amulet. Maybe it was both. Back at the Li clan's residence, Li Fuchen saw Li Yunhai. Li Yunhai looked at Li Fuchen with a gloomy expression. When Li Fuchen defeated Yang Qi, he still had the confidence to defeat Li Fuchen. But after Li Fuchen defeated Guan Peng, he lost his confidence. One had to know that he had fought Guan Peng once before, and both of them were evenly matched. Neither of them could do anything to the other. Li Fuchen, your ability is indeed not bad. A pity that your weak bone frame is your fatal weakness. In 3 more days, the tempering pool will be opened. Only one person can enter, and I think you should know who is qualified to enter. Li Fuchen. Li Yunhai's mood improved a lot when the tempering pool was mentioned. He was the only 2-star bone frame member in the Li clan, so he would be the only one to enter the tempering pool. Then I shall congratulate you in advance. Li Fuchen's expression was indifferent. The tempering pool was one of the most important places in the Li clan. 30 years ago, the Li clan started to set up the tempering pool. They threw in large amounts of body-strengthening herbs. After a long period of time, the medicinal properties of the herbs merged with the pool water, giving it an astonishing medicinal effect. Anyone who soaked in the pool would have the strength of 1,000 kilograms. But the tempering pool required time to accumulate its medicinal properties. From time to time, the pool would need to be filled with body-strengthening herbs. Under normal circumstances, it would only be opened once every 2 years. This was the 2nd year. Li Fuchen naturally wouldn't neglect the medicinal properties of the tempering pool. At the Qi realm, due to the fact that Qi couldn't be externally manifested, physical fitness was very important. Those with great strength would be able to swing their sword with greater force. Once their strength reached a certain level, they would be able to challenge opponents who were a higher level. But even if he couldn't soak in the tempering pool, Li Fuchen didn't mind. He could feel that his red jade technique was on the verge of breaking through. Once his red jade technique reached the 6th rank, his ability would rise to the next level. Kiki, you sure are calm. The biennial City Genius Contest is about to begin in 2 months. Only the top 5 will be able to become an outer sect disciple of the Zhanglan sect. With your ability, you might be able to enter the top 5 now, but it is hard to say after 2 months. Not seeing Li Fuchen's disappointed and angry expression, Li Yunhai felt uncomfortable and once again gave Li Fuchen a blow. If you want to give me a blow, I advise you to forget about it. Li Fuchen laughed and turned to leave, leaving Li Yunhai with a back view. Just pretending to be calm. Li Yunhai snorted. He didn't know why, but he just couldn't stand Li Fuchen. Maybe it had something to do with him liking Guan Shui. No one knew, but there were 2 reasons why he wanted to become a Zhanglan sect disciple. Chapter 14. Fuchen, the tempering pool is about to open in 3 days. Father will help you fight for it. After dinner, Li Tianhan and Xin Yuan pulled Li Fuchen for a long talk. Dad, what is mine will always be mine. If it isn't, I won't force it. Li Fuchen had a good attitude. Hearing this, Li Tianhan nodded silently. Li Fuchen's performance was much more mature than he imagined. He then sighed in his heart. Everything about Li Fuchen was good, a pity that his bone frame was lacking. Even if it was only a 1-star bone frame, he was confident he could help Li Fuchen obtain the spot. A normal bone frame was too much for him. On the side, Xin Yuyan spoke with concern. The 4 major clans have a total of 6 tempering pools, but there are only 5 spots to become a Zhanglan sect disciple. If you can fight for it, you have to. Even though Li Fuchen's current ability was in the top 5, but 2 months from now, everything might change. What's more, other than the 4 major clans, there were many other smaller clans participating in the Genius Contest. 3rd day, Li Clan's meeting hall. Li Tianhan was arguing with the elders. My son Fuchen may only have a normal bone frame, but his perception has been seen by everyone. Not to mention the Li clan, even in Yunwu City, he is one of the best. If he can soak in the tempering pool, he will have a high chance of getting top 3 in the genius contest. One of the elders nodded. Fuchen's perception is indeed strong. Being able to defeat Yang Qi and Guan Peng is proof of that. I think we should consider him. I think so too. The Elder Council wasn't a monolithic entity. Everyone had their own selfish motives. The two elders who spoke up for Li Tianhan were closer to Li Tianhan's faction. Hearing this, Li Yunhai's father, Li Taizhan, gave a disdainful laugh. A normal bone frame is just a normal bone frame. Even if he explodes in the early stages, he will not be able to continue in the later stages. My son, Li Yunhai, has excellent perception and a 2-star bone frame. Choosing him to enter the tempering pool is the safest choice. I think none of the elders would be willing to bet on a normal bone frame disciple. Li Tiashan's words resonated with most of the elders. Placing their bets on a normal bone frame disciple was too risky. Once Li Fuchen runs out of steam, their 2 years of hard work would go down the drain. But Li Yunhai was different. Even if he doesn't do well in the later stages, he at least has a 2-star bone frame. I don't think so. Li Tianhan objected. Our Li clan has been declining because we have always been too dependable and lacked the drive to improve. It is true that bone frames reflect a person's innate qualities, but in this world, does a normal bone frame really have no potential? Not necessarily. 3,000 miles away from our Cloud Mist City, the Rising Sun City City Lord is a normal bone frame, but his current achievements are above the 3-star bone frame Cloud Mist City's City Lord. From what I see, it should be the most outstanding individuals that enter the tempering pool, not just those with excellent bone frames. If not, why would the Zhonglan sect choose disciples with good bone frames? Why would they need a genius contest? The meeting hall was silent. Li Tianhan's words made all the elders fall into deep thought. Seeing the situation, Li Taizhan frowned. The decline of the Li clan isn't necessarily due to our dependability. Humans have their own luck. So does the clan. For the past 10 years, our Li clan's luck wasn't that great and we didn't have any star bone frames. But this time, it is different. My son, Li Yunhai, has a 2-star bone frame. Everyone, this is a 2-star bone frame. Our Li clan hasn't had a 2-star bone frame for 10 years. If we miss this opportunity, our Li clan may never rise again. Li Tiashan's last statement was spoken with a stern tone. The meeting hall once again fell into silence as all the elders lowered their heads in contemplation. Father, elders, this time the tempering pool is open. Let Li Yunhai enter. Li Fuchen's voice suddenly echoed. Fuchen. Li Tianhan looked at Li Fuchen in shock. Even though he wasn't too sure, but among the elders, there were many who supported him. Now that Li Fuchen said this, it was the same as cutting off his own path of retreat. In an instant, Li Tianhan was enraged and felt that Li Fuchen was too unreasonable. Li Yunhai was stunned at first, then looked at Li Fuchen like he was looking at a fool. To be honest, at this stage, he was a little anxious. If the Elders Guild fully supported him, they wouldn't be so anxious. This was a far cry from what he expected. But with this statement from Li Fuchen, the Elders Guild would definitely not support him anymore. What a fool. Don't tell me he is trying to be a good guy? The one who spoke was Li Yunhe, who stood beside Li Yunhai. Li Yunhai snorted. Maybe he doesn't have the confidence and doesn't dare to accept this responsibility. This type of person will never have a bright future. In his opinion, Li Fuchen's poor bone frame, lack of confidence and courage, would basically never amount to anything. Fuchen, give father an explanation. Li Tianhan looked at Li Fuchen with a stern expression. Li Fuchen spoke. Firstly, Li Yunhai's bone frame is indeed better than mine. I don't wish for the Li clan to take the risk for me. Secondly, I am confident that even without entering the tempering pool, I can still obtain the top 5 of the genius contest and become a Zhonglan sect disciple. He did this out of consideration for his father, Li Tianhan. He didn't wish for his father to tire himself out. A person's potential couldn't be determined in a year or two. If he really entered the tempering pool, Li Tianhan would be under a lot of pressure. Good, ambitious. No wonder you are a descendant of our Li clan. A Li clan elder praised. With such ambition at such a young age, your future achievements will not be too shabby. A pity that the tempering pool only allows one person. If not, you would have to enter even if you didn't want to. The elders were still contemplating who to let in. Now that Li Fuchen had helped them solve their problems, they all looked at him with admiration. Big Bro Fuchen is too domineering. Amongst the crowd, Li Xiaodai looked at Li Fuchen with a look of worship. She and Li Fuchen were blood relatives, but their relationship was a little distant. But it didn't stop her from worshipping her cousin. Since that is the case, then it shall be like this. The one to enter the tempering pool this time is Li Yunhai. Li Tianhan took a deep look at Li Fuchen. He could see the fearlessness, confidence, and wisdom in Li Fuchen's eyes. In a split second, he seemed to understand Li Fuchen's intentions. He was touched and at the same time found it hilarious. He put in so much effort to help Li Fuchen obtain a spot, but in the end, it was his own son who ruined his plans. Just like that, Li Yunhai successfully entered the tempering pool to temper his body. Li Fuchen, as usual, visited the Misty Mountains once every 2 or 3 days and cultivated the red jade technique at night. As the date of the genius contest drew closer, the atmosphere of Yunwu City became more intense. Chapter 15. Inadvertently, Li Fuchen found out who the other 3 clans sent to enter the tempering pool. The Guan clan sent Guan Peng, the Yang clan and Shentu clan each had 2 pools. The Yang clan sent Yang Kai and another prodigy, Yang Hao, while the Shentu clan sent Shentu Ju and Shentu Liang. The effects of the tempering pool was close to a low-tier, mystic class fitness herb. In the entire Yunwu City, it was hard to even find a peak-tier, yellow class fitness herb, not to mention a low-tier mystic class one. The 4 clans could only rely on quantity to win. They poured large amounts of low-tier fitness herbs into the tempering pool, allowing the medicinal properties to fuse and produce a compound effect. In general, a stalk of low-tier, mystic class fitness herb was worth around 20,000 gold coins. The tempering pool cost around 40,000 gold coins for 2 years. It wasn't that it couldn't be split between 2 people, but if 2 people were to soak in the tempering pool, it would be worse than 1 person. Seems like after this batch of people come out, there will be a huge increase in their ability. Among them, Yang Kai will definitely have the biggest increase. The tempering pool's ability to grant a person with 1,000 kilograms of physical strength was just an estimate. Different people would have different results. Some could have 700 or 800 kilograms of physical strength, while others could only have 500 or 600 kilograms of physical strength. As for 1,000 kilograms of physical strength, it would require an exceptional bone frame. In Yunwu City, besides Guan Shui, Yang Kai's 3-star bone frame was the best. Good thing my current physical strength is around 300 or 400 kilograms, not too weak. Li Fuchen tested his own strength and found that he could easily lift a 300 kilograms rock. This strength was considered above average for a Qi realm martial artist. Of course, Li Fuchen originally didn't have this strength. But due to the stone heart grass strengthening his bones, his nerves and muscles unknowingly became stronger as he battled with demonic beasts. If only I had a body refinement technique. Li Fuchen thought of a body refinement technique. Body refinement techniques were considered rare, even within sections. It was said that the best body refinement techniques could grant the user the strength of a top-class demonic beast. Complemented with martial arts, the user would be invincible. The night was deep like water, with a crescent moon hanging on the branches. In the cultivation room beside the bedroom, Li Fuchen sat cross-legged on a futon, revolving the red jade technique over and over again. Visible to the naked eye, Li Fuchen's abdomen appeared with a pale red glow. In the past, this pale red glow could be seen, but it wasn't as intense as today. At the same time, a scorching qi presence was emitted from Li Fuchen's body. The red jade martial art leaned towards the yang attribute of fire. The red jade true qi that was cultivated was domineering and hot. To a certain extent, it also had the effect of tempering the body and could purify the impurities in the body. The scorching aura was getting more intense, and the top of Li Fuchen's head was emitting a white mist. Legend had it that when a person's cultivation reached a certain level, a phenomenon would appear above his head when he cultivated, such as the Great Sun Anomaly, the River Anomaly, the Furnace Anomaly, and the Demonic Beast Anomaly. The phenomenon that appeared was related to the technique. When the red jade art was cultivated to the highest level, the 7th level, there would be a phenomenon above one's head. It was a faint red mist. The higher one's cultivation, the thicker the mist. When his father, Li Tianhan, cultivated the red jade art, a faint red mist would appear above his head. As time ticked by, the white mist on top of Li Fuchen's head got thicker and thicker, like a cloud of steam. Gradually, Li Fuchen's skin turned red. Not knowing how much time had passed, a pop could be heard from within Li Fuchen's body. In the next moment, his abdomen glowed with a faint red light and the white mist on top of his head. A scorching aura spread out and the temperature of the cultivation room rose by a large margin. It was as if a furnace appeared in the middle of the cultivation room. It was a mystical sight. At the same time, an astonishing amount of heaven and earth energy rushed towards Li Fuchen. The absorption speed was obviously much faster than before. Gradually opening his eyes, Li Fuchen's eyes shone with a red glow. Finally, the 6th rank. From the 4th rank to the 5th rank of the red jade technique, 5 additional meridians appeared on the qi circulation map. From the 5th rank to the 6th rank, 7 additional meridians appeared on the qi circulation map. With the addition of 7 meridians, when circulating the technique, the absorption speed of heaven and earth energy increased drastically. Li Fuchen estimated that in at most 3 to 4 months, he would be able to break through to the 6th level of the qi realm. With the advancement of the technique rank, not only did the absorption speed increase, the burst power of qi would also increase. With a single punch from Li Fuchen, an intense burst of qi could be heard in the air. The dust on the ground was swept up and blown away. Walking into the yard, Li Fuchen picked up a fist-sized rock. With a light grip, he burst forth with qi. The rock turned into dust and drifted through the gaps between Li Fuchen's fingers. The burst power of qi is at least 30% stronger than the 5th rank red jade technique. Li Fuchen thought to himself, it is time to choose a high-tier, yellow-class sword art. The Li clan only had 3 types of high-tier, yellow-class martial arts. 2 sword arts and 1 palm art. They were the red jade sword style, cycle sword style, and red jade palm style. High-tier, yellow-class martial arts consumed a lot of qi. In fact, with Li Fuchen's current cultivation level, it wasn't enough to cultivate it. Without enough qi, it was impossible to cultivate a high-tier, yellow-class martial art to a high rank. But Li Fuchen wanted to give it a try. Even if he could only master half a stance, it would be enough to be his trump card. Entering his mind, Li Fuchen observed his soul spirit. Under the nourishment of the golden amulet, the pale green soul spirit was getting more and more green. If it was strands before, it was now being dyed. At the same time, Li Fuchen felt that his thoughts were getting more agile. With a single thought, he could think of many problems. The night was over and morning arrived. Martial library. What? You want to choose the red jade sword style? Pavilion elder Li Dexing was shocked. Yes. Li Fuchen nodded. Li Dexing looked at Li Fuchen with a serious expression. Generally speaking, you need to be at least at the 7th level of the qi realm to cultivate high-tier, yellow-class martial arts. Below the 7th level, no matter how good your perception is, you will never be able to cultivate to a high rank. It will only be a waste of time. I know, but the city's genius contest is about to begin. I would like to ponder over it. Maybe it will give me some inspiration. Your perception is the best in recent years in our Li clan. Maybe you can get some inspiration from it. Li Dexing suddenly recalled that Li Yunhai, Guan Peng, and the others could soak in the tempering pool, but Li Fuchen didn't have the chance. High-tier, yellow-class manuals weren't on the 3rd floor of the martial library, it was just an empty shell. Lowering his head, Li Dexing took out a wooden box from the drawer. This was the wooden box he brought with him every day. Opening the wooden box, there were 3 manuals inside. They were the red jade sword style, cycle sword style, and red jade palm style. Taking out the red jade sword style manual, Li Dexing passed it to Li Fuchen. The red jade sword style has a total of 3 moves. If you only comprehend the first move, with your perception, you might be able to gain something. Many thanks, Elder. Receiving the manual, Li Fuchen bade farewell and left. From afar, Li Fuchen could hear the commotion at the training grounds. Incredible, Li Yunhai can actually lift a 750 kilograms rock. That's 3 times my strength. With such strength, he doesn't even need to use his chi to defeat us. The training grounds were in an uproar. Is Li Yunhai out of seclusion? Chapter 16. On the martial arts field, the 7-foot-tall Li Yunhai spread his arms, lifting a giant boulder that was half the height of a human. His muscles were bulging, especially his arms, which were as hard as rock. Rumble. Putting down the giant boulder, Li Yunhai was in high spirits. Originally, his physical strength was around 200 kilograms, which was about the same as everyone else. But now, his physical strength had tripled to 750 kilograms, which was on par with a Class 1 demonic beast. That fool Li Fuchen, he didn't take advantage of the opportunity and wanted to be a nice guy. How would he know that on the path of cultivation, it is foolish to let go of any opportunity? I wasn't sure if I could defeat him before, but now I don't even put 2 Li Fuchens in my eyes. With 750 kilograms of physical strength and a 6th level Qi realm cultivation, Li Yunhan felt a sense of power. Look, Li Fuchen is here. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Li Fuchen was about to leave. Li Fuchen. Li Yunhai called out to him. Congratulations on coming out of seclusion. Stopping his footsteps, Li Fuchen spoke. Li Yunhai sized up Li Fuchen and felt that his Qi presence was much stronger than before. Yes, I am out of seclusion. Are you interested in a spar? You know, in the entire Li clan, you are the only one who can withstand a few moves from me. Forget it, the genius contest is about to begin, there will be a chance. Even though Li Yunhai's physical strength had increased, Li Fuchen was more confident in himself. Physical strength didn't mean anything, he just felt that sparring now was meaningless. Li Yunhai let out an expression that didn't look like a smile, thinking to himself, seems like Li Fuchen is afraid and doesn't dare to spar with me. Fine, if I force myself to spar now, it will only cause others to gossip. After all, I soaked in the tempering pool, but Li Fuchen didn't. Seems like only the genius contest can lower Li Fuchen's spirit and arrogance. I shall be waiting for you at the genius contest. Li Yunhai arrogantly declared. Li Fuchen smiled and didn't say anything, he turned and left. Sigh, such a pity. With Li Fuchen's ability, he could have done well in the genius contest. But now, it's uncertain. It's not uncertain, it's basically hopeless. Not necessarily. In the past, there have been precedents of those who have soaked in the tempering pool being defeated by those who have not. Strength doesn't necessarily mean victory. As long as one's combat ability is strong enough, there is still hope. That's what you say, but you have to know that it's not just the 4 clans that are participating in the genius contest. Cloud Fog City has a population of more than 200,000, and Cloud Fog City has a population of more than 1 million. Among these million people, there are bound to be some geniuses. With so many people competing for the 5 spots, you can imagine the difficulty. What you said seems to make some sense. The Guan clan used to come from a remote place. Later on, someone from the Guan clan became a disciple of the Zhonglan sect. That's why they quickly rose to become one of the 4 major clans of Yunwu City. On the martial arts field, everyone was discussing and felt pity for Li Fuchen. In the next few days, the disciples of the other 3 clans who were soaking in the body tempering pool all came out of seclusion. It was rumored that Guan Peng's physical strength reached 900 kilograms, which was much stronger than Li Yunhai. This was mainly due to Guan Peng's innate physical strength. Before entering the tempering pool, he already had 400 kilograms of physical strength. Shen-Tu family's Shen-Tu Ju also had a strength of 800 jin. Shen-Tu Liang was a bit weaker, only having a strength of 650 jin. Yang family's Yang Hao had a strength of 700 jin. The strongest was Kai Yang, who had a strength of 1000 jin. What kind of concept was 1,000 kilograms? At the Qi realm, it was already considered godly strength. Legend has it that there were some prodigies with exceptional bone frames. Without any external help, they could reach 1,000 kilograms of physical strength in their teens. Like Guan Shui, who was recruited into the Zhonglan sect in advance. Even though she was a girl, she had 500 kilograms of physical strength. It was impossible to tell from her appearance. This was a person's potential strength and had nothing to do with their physique. Of course, bone frame and physical strength were not directly proportional. Some people only had a 1-star bone frame, but their physical strength might even surpass a 3-star bone frame. Fuchen, your mother and I can't help you much. Take this scarlet snow pill. On this day, Li Tianhan, who had been out for a long time, finally returned with a pill. Scarlet snow pill? Li Fuchen uncorked the bottle and saw a snow-white pill inside. A concentrated medicinal energy was emitted from the bottle. With just a sniff, Li Fuchen could feel the qi within his body getting restless. Father, the scarlet snow pill is a high-tier, yellow-class pill. One pill costs a few thousand gold coins. It is too expensive. Li Fuchen shook his head. Even though the Li clan's annual income was around 100,000 gold coins, but everyone in the Li clan had to take a monthly allowance. There wasn't much left over. As the patriarch, Li Tianhan's annual allowance was 3,000 gold coins. Mother Xin Yuyan's annual allowance was 1,000 gold coins. It might seem like a lot, but according to Li Fuchen's knowledge, origin realm martial artists needed to consume large amounts of yellow-class, mid-tier pills to slowly increase their qi. A single yellow-class, mid-tier pill was worth a few hundred gold coins. 4,000 gold coins could only buy a dozen pills, which was impossible to save up. This scarlet snow pill probably cost his parents several years or even 10 years of savings to purchase. Li Tianhan snorted. You think as a father, I only know how to take advantage of my son and not contribute anything? Father, I didn't mean it like that. Li Fuchen replied. Xin Yuyan said, Fuchen, the genius contest is just around the corner. Your cultivation level is still too low. Only by progressing to the 6th level of the Qi realm will you have a higher chance of getting into the top 5. If you have to rely on yourself, then your father and I are not qualified to be your parents. The other clan's prodigies are all nurtured by their clans. If that is the case, then Fuchen shall accept it. Li Fuchen had no choice but to accept the scarlet snow pill. A scarlet snow pill that was worth a few thousand gold coins was the best gift he had received in his life. Even an origin realm martial artist wouldn't be willing to buy it for himself. Of course, this was mainly because one scarlet snow pill couldn't allow an origin realm martial artist to advance one level. It was too wasteful to buy it for himself. But in other words, a Qi realm martial artist who consumed a scarlet snow pill might not be able to advance one level. This was related to one's state of mind. If one's state of mind was too low, it didn't matter what pill you consumed, as you wouldn't be able to control too much qi. Li Tianhan and Xin Yuyan were just trying their luck. They hoped that Li Fuchen's state of mind was high enough to bring out most of the effects of the scarlet snow pill. Seeing Li Fuchen accept the scarlet snow pill, Li Tianhan nodded in satisfaction. Once you become a Zhonglan sect disciple, these few thousand gold coins will be nothing. By then, your mother and I are planning to bask in your glory. If Li Fuchen could become a Zhonglan sect disciple, the Li clan's status in Yunwu City would greatly increase. Some of the benefits that were supposed to be given away might even be retained. In order for a clan to develop, it required a large amount of gold coins. A large amount of gold coins came from businesses. Yunwu City was only so big and every clan wanted more businesses. There would always be disputes over benefits, and it all depended on one's background. Father, mother, don't worry. I will definitely become a Zhonglan sect disciple. Chapter 17. Li Fuchen was now at the middle of the 5th level of the Qi realm. Due to the red jade technique breaking through to the 6th rank, his qi could not be any purer. Li Fuchen didn't need to consolidate his qi and could just consume the scarlet snow pill to increase his cultivation. The scarlet snow elixir was about the size of a longan. It was snow-white and flawless, but upon closer inspection, one could see that in the center of the scarlet snow elixir, there was a faint hint of scarlet. It gave off the feeling that there was a volcano under an iceberg, and it contained immense power. As expected of a high-tier yellow-class medicinal pill, it's so miraculous. I wonder what will happen after I absorb and refine it. Generally speaking, the higher the grade of an elixir, the less impurities there were. But no matter how little, there were still impurities. Taking a deep breath, Li Fuchen consumed the scarlet snow elixir. Gulp. The scarlet snow elixir melted in his mouth. Like a cold spring, it flowed into his stomach. In an instant, Li Fuchen felt as though his body was about to freeze. But right at this moment, a fiery qi burst out from his stomach, violently rushing at his organs and limbs. Li Fuchen's face was distorted. At this moment, he knew what ice and fire nine heavens was. His body alternated between cold and hot. Towards the end, Li Fuchen's nerves were numb. Fortunately, after revolving the 6th rank red jade technique, the cold and hot were quickly suppressed. The 6th level of the red jade technique was like a whirlpool, sucking in the power of the scarlet snow pill. Every time it spun, it would refine a portion of the scarlet snow pill's power. It was like a millstone, grinding the beans into soy milk. A quarter of an hour passed. An hour passed. 2 hours passed. Li Fuchen's qi presence was getting stronger and more berserk. His cultivation had broken through from the middle of the 5th level of the qi realm to the late stage and peak stage. Success or failure depends on this. Li Fuchen frenziedly revolved the red jade technique to accumulate qi. When the qi accumulated to the point where it could no longer be accumulated, Li Fuchen manipulated the qi to suddenly rush at the 6th barrier. Like a wave, like a volcano, under the impact of the qi, the barrier produced a trace of loosening. The loosening became more and more intense. A trace of crack appeared, followed by boom. Within Li Fuchen's body, there was a faint sound of something shattering. In the next moment, Li Fuchen's qi rose sharply. In the cultivation room, the qi flow vibrated and made a strange sound. 6th realm of the qi realm, completed. But at this moment, the scarlet snow pill's medicinal effects still remained. With a spurt of energy, Li Fuchen raised his cultivation from the 6th level of the qi realm to the middle of the 6th level before the pill's effects were depleted. Slowly opening his eyes, 2 rays of light flashed like swords. Li Fuchen stretched out his right hand and clenched it into a fist. With a single punch, a shadow of a fist flashed through the air. The explosive power wasn't something a 5th level qi realm cultivator could compare with. With my cultivation base at the 6th level of the qi realm, I'm afraid I can even kill a small portion of rank 1 demonic beasts. The improvement of cultivation was different from the improvement of one's martial arts and actual combat ability. The improvement of cultivation was like the improvement of one's life. That kind of satisfaction was indescribable. This was also the reason why one's aptitude was the most important in the cultivation of martial arts. After all, no matter how strong one's combat ability was, if one's cultivation was too low, one would only be an ant. Only by constantly improving one's cultivation could one climb to the peak of martial arts and stand above all others. The next morning, Li Tianhan and Xin Yuan hurried over to Li Fuchen's courtyard. The moment they saw Li Fuchen, they knew that Li Fuchen had broken through to the 6th level of the qi realm. Li Tianhan laughed loudly. "Ha, Fuchen, your mental state is much higher than I imagined. I thought you would need a few more days before breaking through." The medicinal effects would normally remain in the body for a few days and wouldn't dissipate so quickly. Even if Li Fuchen didn't break through, he could still use the medicinal effects to break through after half a month. Of course, whether or not he could break through was still an unknown. But neither of them could have imagined that Li Fuchen would break through in a single night. This meant that Li Fuchen's mental state was already at the 6th level of the qi realm. Xin Yuan laughed. Perhaps after a year of tempering, Fuchen's mental state far surpassed other martial artists of the same level. Yes, that should be the case. Li Tianhan nodded. This was the only explanation that made sense. Fuchen, your foundation isn't weak anymore. You can start your combat training now. Recently, The Li clan caught quite a number of Class 1 demonic beasts. You can use them for practice. Li Tianhan said. Dad, I don't need to undergo combat training. Li Fuchen still wanted to cultivate the red jade sword style. Li Tianhan's face turned stern. All the clan's descendants are undergoing combat training, how can you be an exception? Alright then. Li Fuchen prepared to reveal a little of his combat ability to reassure them. Demonic Beast Testing Grounds. 3 blades. With just 3 blades, Li Fuchen finished off the Class 1 Steel Bone Jackal. And this was with Li Fuchen holding back. Shen Yuyan's eyes widened, speechless for a long time. Tianhan, do you think our son is a freak? Where does his combat ability come from? Shen Yuyan couldn't help but ask. Li Tianhan laughed bitterly. I unintentionally received news that Fuchen would sell some demonic beast materials to the Demon Refinement Pavilion every few days. You mean he secretly went to the Misty Mountains alone? I'm afraid so. Isn't that too daring? What if something happened? Shen Yuyan was fuming with anger. What's the use of being angry now? I have to say, he was able to defeat Yang Qi and Guan Peng because of his outstanding combat ability. Even though he was reprimanded by his parents, but Li Fuchen didn't need to undergo combat training anymore. As the Genius Contest approached, many from the Zhonglan sect were rushing towards Yunwu City. On this day, 2 youths came to the Yang clan. They looked to be in their 20s, but were already at the Origin Realm. One was Yang Lai, the other was Yang Zhan. Both of them were now inner sect disciples of the Zhonglan sect. Lai Ji, Zhan Ji. Facing these 2 youths, even the Yang clan's number 1 genius, Yang Kai, would have to address them as brother. Yang Lai laughed. Yang Kai, you are a rare 3-star bone frame. In this genius contest, you have to take first place and bring glory to our Yang clan. Lai Ji, don't worry. Obtaining first place will be as easy as pie. Yang Kai replied casually. Be it Shin Tu Ju, Guan Peng, or Zhao Yunhai, they weren't even worth mentioning in his eyes. As for the active Li Fuchen, he didn't even put him in his eyes. He heard that Li Fuchen didn't even have the qualifications to enter the tempering pool. At the side, Yang Zhan turned to Yang Qi and said, Yang Qi, even though you didn't enter the tempering pool, it doesn't mean you don't have the chance to enter the top 5. Don't be discouraged. Yang Qi hesitated. Zhan Ji, I am confident I can enter the top 10, but top 5? The top 5 was already decided. It should be Yang Kai, Yang Hao, Shin Tu Ju, Shin Tu Liang, Guan Peng, and Li Yunhai. Yang Lai shook his head. Strength doesn't mean anything. The most important thing is to have a strong combat ability. In the Zhonglan sect, there are some prodigies who can surpass a few levels to defeat other disciples. Chapter 18. Guan Clan. For the past 10 years, the Guan clan could be said to be in the limelight. Within these 10 years, the number of clansmen that became Zhonglan sect disciples was led by the Guan clan with an astonishing 9. Next was the Yang clan with 7, the Shin Tu clan with 6, and the Li clan with none. As the Genius Contest approached, 2 individuals returned to the Guan clan. They were Guan Hong and Guan Yen. Guan Hong, first place of the contest 2 years ago. Guan Yen, first place of the contest before Guan Hong. In the past 10 years, the Guan clan had taken first place for 3 out of the 5 genius contests. Guan Hong was 20 years old this year and was at the first level of the Origin Realm. Guan Yen was 21 years old and at the second level of the Origin Realm. The Guan clan had always produced handsome men and beautiful women. Guan Hong and Guan Yen were no exception. This year's genius contest, who is the strongest? The 7-foot-tall and handsome Guan Hong asked Guan Peng and Guan Hao. Guan Peng replied, it is the Yang clan's Kai Yang. He is already at the 7th level of the Qi realm and after the tempering pool, his physical strength reached 1,000 kilograms. He is the undisputed first place. Undisputed first place? That may not be the case. Guan Yen and I came back to help you get into the top 5 or even first place. Guan Hong confidently replied. First place, is that even possible? Guan Peng's eyes shone. Others may not know of Kai Yang's prowess, but he knew it very well. He once heard from a servant that Kai Yang had the record of killing a Class 1 mid-tier demonic beast in 2 strikes. A Class 1 mid-tier demonic beast's defense was extremely fearsome. Only a fatal blow could kill it. If not, even a dozen strikes would not be able to kill it. Guan Yen was just like her name, as beautiful as a peach blossom, graceful and charming. From head to toe, she emitted a cold and mature temperament. She stroked the hair on her forehead and proudly said, "The methods of the sex are not something you can imagine. At the same realm, a disciple of the sex can suppress 3 or 4 of you, and you won't even be able to block a single move. Guan Hong and I will teach you the combat training methods that we have learned in the sections. If you can grasp 1 or 2, obtaining first place will not be a difficult matter." Hearing this, Guan Ping and Guan Hao's eyes lit up. Guan Hong then asked, "Apart from Kai Yang, is there anyone else?" Guan Hao replied, "Guan Peng lost to Li Clan's Li Fuchen and I heard he lost miserably." He originally thought Guan Peng, who lost to Li Fuchen, wouldn't have the chance to enter the tempering pool. He didn't expect the Elders Guild to choose Guan Peng, which made him unhappy. "This Li Fuchen is incredible?" Guan Yen and Guan Hong looked at Guan Peng with astonishment. Guan Peng glared at Guan Hao coldly. "I lost to him because I was careless. Besides, he only has a normal bone frame and doesn't even qualify to enter the tempering pool. He's not worth mentioning. Normal bone frame. This kind of person is not worth mentioning." Guan Yen laughed in disdain. Guan Hong seemed to have thought of something. Could this Li Fuchen be Guan Shue's ex-fiancé? He entered the Azure Water sect 4 years ago and had some impression of Li Fuchen. "Yes, but our Guan clan has already annulled the engagement with the Li clan." Guan Hao nodded. Guan Hong laughed. A toad lusting after swan meat? Only the Li clan could think of this. Guan Shui is now a prominent figure in the Azure Water sect's outer sect. Her innate talent is one of the top few in the Azure Water sect. The Li clan knows that Li Fuchen only has a normal bone frame, yet they didn't take the initiative to annul the engagement. Instead, they let our Guan clan announce it. They obviously want the Guan clan to be the bad guy and help the Li clan's reputation. The Li clan is on the decline. They probably wanted to make use of Guan Shui to maintain their status. Such a clan with ulterior motives will never have a bright future. Guan Yen looked down on the Li clan. At the same time, a Azure Water sect inner sect disciple returned from the Li clan. Li Shanhe, who became a disciple of the Azure Water sect 12 years ago. He was 28 years old this year and was at the 4th level of the Origin Realm. This level of cultivation was already considered an expert in the Li clan. But Li Shanhe was only 28 years old, still young. "Shanhe, welcome back to the Li clan." Li Tianhan passionately welcomed. "Patriarch, there is no need to be so courteous." Li Shanhe had an arrogant expression as he nodded. Li Tianhan didn't mind. Sect disciples all had their own pride, and no one was an exception. To be honest, in Yunwu City, the only person who had a higher status than the Zhanglan sect's inner sect disciple was the Yunwu City Lord. For now and in the future, the Li clan still needed to rely on him. "Patriarch, who do the Li clan need my guidance, and what are their bone frames?" Li Shanhe got straight to the point. Li Tianhan replied, "One of them is your nephew, Li Yunhai, and the other is my son, Li Fuchen. Li Yunhai is a 2-star bone frame, while Fuchen is a normal bone frame." Hesitating for a moment, Li Tianhan decided to reveal Li Fuchen's bone frame. Li Shanhe frowned. "Patriarch, forgive me for being blunt. A normal bone frame has no value in nurturing, regardless if he is your son or not." Li Tianhan was embarrassed. Fuchen is a little special. His perception is extremely high. Before this, he wasn't inferior to Li Yunhai. He even defeated the Yang clan's genius, Yang Qi, and the Guan clan's genius, Guan Peng. That doesn't mean anything. The past is the past, and the present is the present. However, you're the clan leader. For your sake, I can help train him. In the end, Li Shanhe still gave Li Tianhan some respect. Li Fuchen was also interested in the Zhanglan sect's combat training methods, even though he didn't like Li Shanhe's arrogant attitude. "Yunhai, your strength is 750 genes. Combined with your Qi realm's 6th realm Qi, your total strength should be around 2,000 genes. My strength is only 1,500 genes. Now, I will not use my Qi, so you try to attack me. On the martial arts field, Li Shanhe scanned the field. In front of him, there were 4 Li clansmen, Li Fuchen, Li Yunhai, and 2 other outstanding Li clansmen. As for Li Yunhe, he wasn't sure why he didn't participate in the genius contest. He probably felt that he didn't have much hope this time and decided to fight for it next time. Even though only the top 5 of the genius contest could become a disciple of the Tsanglan sect, the top 20 would be rewarded handsomely. These rewards were pooled together by all the major clans. No one wanted to make a loss, so every little bit counted. The other 2 Li clansmen's main mission was to enter the top 20. Yes, uncle. Li Yunhai nodded and took a step forward. With a low grunt, Li Yunhai unsheathed his fine steel sword and swung it forward. The explosive force of 1,000 pounds made Li Yunhai's sword extremely sharp. Before the sword arrived, the wind from the sword had already blown away the dust around Li Shanhe. Li Shanhe casually swung his sword. With a burst of sparks, Li Yunhai's sword was deflected. How is this possible? Li Yunhai was dumbfounded. Li Shanhe proudly said, "Physical strength doesn't mean anything. Knowing how to use your strength is the key. My sword just now struck the weakest part of your sword, which is why it was deflected. If this was a life or death battle, I could have killed you with my second sword. Using your strongest point to attack your opponent's weakest point. I know this, but how do you do it?" Li Yunhai asked. Chapter 19. Li Shanhe's teachings were indeed good, but Li Fuchen realized that he had already grasped all of them during his battles with demonic beasts. Demonic beasts had strong defenses and fast attacks. Clashing head-on would be a foolish thing to do. With his combat prowess, Li Fuchen quickly grasped the concept of using one's strength to attack the enemy's weakness, which was why he could kill a Class 1 mid-tier demonic beast in a single slash. Combat prowess was something that was hard to explain, but it truly existed. The Yang clan's top prodigy, Yang Kai, had a 3-star bone frame and an incredible combat prowess. At the 5th level of the Qi realm, he single-handedly killed a Class 1 mid-tier demonic beast. Yunwu City's top prodigy, Guan Shui, was even more impressive. With a 4-star bone frame, she naturally knew how to battle and didn't need any guidance. With a pale green soul spirit, Li Fuchen's combat prowess was gradually ignited. The next day, Li Fuchen didn't go to Li Shanhe's place. Since he already understood what he was taught, he might as well spend his time on the red jade sword style. "Uncle Shanhe, Li Fuchen isn't here." On the training grounds, the Li clan's Li Hongkai was surprised. Li Shanhe's face was gloomy. "It is his loss that he isn't here, and it saved me a lot of time. Li Hongkai, Li Xiangdong, the 2 of you practice well. It won't be a problem to defeat him in the genius contest. Let's see if he still has any face left." As a high-tier, yellow-class sword art, the red jade sword style was extremely difficult to cultivate. Normally, one would need to be at least at the 7th level of the Qi realm to be able to cultivate it. Those below the 7th level of the Qi realm would never be able to grasp the essence of the red jade sword style. In order to reach completion, one would need to be at least at the origin realm. So the red jade sword style's combat prowess is to create the enemy's weakness. After a few days of research, Li Fuchen finally understood the essence of the red jade sword style's first move, Touch of Red Jade. Every martial art contained a combat prowess, because every martial art was designed to defeat the enemy. The first move of the red jade sword style, Touch of Red Jade, contained a suction force. Once the sword came into contact with the opponent's sword, it would attract the opponent's sword, interrupting the opponent's battle rhythm. As such, the opponent could be easily defeated. However, in this way, the density and purity of one's true Qi was crucial. The denser and purer one's true Qi was, the stronger the suction force would be. Conversely, the weaker the suction force would be, so it wouldn't have much of an effect. As the leaves danced in the air, Li Fuchen drew his steel sword and thrusted. Invisibly, the dancing leaves were attracted to the fine steel sword. Whoosh! under the roasting of the red jade jinqi, the leaves were instantly set ablaze, making the fine steel sword look like a flaming sword. As expected of a high-tier yellow-class sword skill, Li Fuchen was in awe of the creator of the red jade sword style and the profoundness of the martial Dao and sword Dao. In the blink of an eye, there were only 3 days left before the genius battle. After a period of actual combat training, the disciples of the 4 great clans had all undergone a new transformation. Kai Yang, your combat talent is much stronger than ours. Even if you go to the Tsang Lan sect, you would be considered one of the top outer sect disciples. Yang Lai and Yang Zhan were in awe of Kai Yang's combat talent. The two of them didn't really guide Kai Yang and only gave him a few pointers. Even though Kai Yang's current status was lower than theirs, once he entered the Tsang Lan sect, after a few years, his status would surpass them. By then, the two of them might even have to rely on each other. Kai Yang replied, "What Guan Shui can do, I can do too. I will let the Tsang Lan sect know that not recruiting me in advance was the wrong choice." Kai Yang was very ambitious. Even though he was only a 3-star bone frame, his ambition wasn't something a mere 3-star bone frame could restrain. Guan Clan, demonic beast testing grounds howl. The iron claw wolf bent its knees and leapt towards Guan Peng. With its unstoppable claws, it tore through the air and clawed at Guan Peng. Clang, clang, pif. With sparks flying, Guan Peng consecutively slashed out 3 times. 3 sword lights flashed and one of them pierced the iron claw wolf's neck. Li Fuchen, during the genius battle, I will let you know what true humiliation is. Guan Peng's eyes flashed with a sinister intent. At the same time, a large number of young prodigies swarmed into Yunwu City. These young prodigies came from various towns within Yunwu City. Within the borders of Yunwu City, there were dozens of clans of various sizes. Every clan wished to establish themselves in Yunwu City. 100 years ago, the 4 major clans of Yunwu City weren't the 4 major clans that they are now. Since the 4 major clans could replace the former major clans, why couldn't they? The 4 major clans have a total of 6 tempering pools. It is enough to create 6 clans with immense strength. I wonder who they are? You sure are out of the loop. These 6 are Yang clans Kai Yang, Yang Hao, Shintu clans Shintu Ju, Shintu Liang, Guan Peng, Li clans Li Yunhai. Among them, Kai Yang is the strongest. This is too unfair. The 4 major clans have the tempering pool and we have nothing. If we had the tempering pool too, it wouldn't be difficult to defeat them. In this world, there is no such thing as fairness. If one day, our clan becomes one of the major clans of Yunwu City, we will also construct a tempering pool and ensure that our clan's descendants become Tsang Lan sect disciples. When that time comes, will you talk about fairness with the countryside clans? Whose side are you on? Why are you speaking up for the 4 major clans? I am not speaking up for the 4 major clans. I just want to tell you that true fairness is something that you have to work hard for yourself. Don't blame the heavens and blame others. The fairness bestowed by others is just an illusion that can shatter at any moment. The one who spoke was around 15 years old. He looked average but had a resolute expression. His hands that were supposed to belong to a youth were covered in calluses and were filled with strength. On his cheeks and neck, there were claw marks. It was obvious that he had battled with a powerful demonic beast and was injured. You are He Ping? Suddenly, the youth who spoke earlier recognized the resolute youth. He Ping, an extremely famous youth prodigy in the northern region of Yunwu City. His clan used to be a clan that wasn't inferior to the 4 major clans, but gradually declined. This He Ping, when he was only at the 3rd level of the Qi realm, dared to enter the Yunwu mountains to train himself. When he was only at the 5th level of the Qi realm, he single-handedly took out a bandit at the 7th level of the Qi realm. His combat prowess was outstanding and he was hailed as the #1 prodigy in the northern region of Yunwu City. He Ping, it's an honor to meet you. I am Si Fei. During the genius contest, I will fight against you. I hope you are as strong as the rumors say. Hearing He Ping's name, a youth with long hair and sharp eyes walked over. Si Fei. He Ping lifted his head to look at the youth with long hair. Si Fei, the #1 prodigy in the southern region of Yunwu City. His swift sword was sharp and ruthless. It was said that he had already killed dozens of Qi realm martial artists. His combat prowess was equally terrifying and ruthless. Welcome to Immortal Cultivation Audiobooks, your gateway to the mystical world of Xianxia. Dive into legendary tales of martial arts, spiritual growth, and immortal ascension. Here, we bring you full-length English audiobooks of the best wuxia and xianxia stories, from young prodigies to ancient sect wars. Perfect for fans of Against the Gods, Martial World, and tales of demons and gods.